Welcome to Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, back again with another episode for y'all, right? I got a special guest in the house. I'm going to let him introduce himself, right? But this interview, I really wanted to do it because he's a young man incarcerated. Is this your first time in prison?
Yeah.
It's first time in prison. And how old were you when you got locked up?
21.
21 years old, right? I think this interview is important because we got a lot of young people coming into the system now in record numbers and doing a lot of things out there that a lot of people are just shocked by. I'm not, because I hear the conversations that take place in here on a daily basis. But I think that this is something, this interview is something that you need to hear and understand the mindset of the individuals that might end up in here. You might have a loved one out there that might find themselves in a similar situation, and I hope that you can learn something from this young man to the point to where you and your loved one do not end up in this position, all right? But go ahead and introduce yourself, bro.
What's going on, y'all? My name is Michael Ramsey. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee. I was born and raised in Magnolia. And like you said, man, I'm 21, I'm young, and this is my first time in prison.
Dig that. So what you locked up for, bro?
Attempted and special aggravated robbery.
Attempted?
Uh-huh.
Dig that. What's the circumstances around that? I mean, I don't want to know about your crime, how you got put in here, but like, were you influenced by somebody? Were you the mastermind, so on and so forth?
It was more like being like at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Wrong place at the wrong time. How can that be? How can you end up in the wrong place at the wrong time? What I mean by that is that were you like out at the mall or something and just popped off?
No.
Okay.
I was actually in an apartment complex.
You in an apartment complex and it happened?
Yeah, like, all right, the guy that came, he was supposed to be buying a gun from me and whatnot.
Okay, I got you.
And another guy so happened to hit the corner and just robbed him. And the guy ran, but he kind of chased him. And he was supposedly had got shot twice, but it really ain't no record behind it to show proof that he was actually shot.
Right. I ain't on the parole board.
Yeah.
I ain't on the parole board, and I don't really want to know about it to the extent to get you in any trouble or anything like that, right? I just want to make sure that we understand the circumstances behind how you ended up in here, right? So basically, what you're telling me is that it was like a gun deal gone bad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of needed cash for an important reason, but
you needed money.
Yeah.
Dig that. Okay, like let me ask you this. Your concept of crime, how you became familiar with it, living in the streets or doing things in the street, how old were you?
I say around like 13.
13 years old. Who introduced you to that, or did you just observe that in your neighborhood?
Yeah, it's just kind of neighborhood thing.
It's just what was
attention to everything that's going around.
Right. So you grew up in a neighborhood where it was a lot of crime?
Yeah, a lot of guys that I kind of looked up to made it seem like it was cool.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, dig that. Like, what was your home life like?
Well, honestly,
yeah.
My big sister really was the one that raised us. My mom wasn't always there, but she was there when she could be.
Right.
But then it's like she was with this guy, and at the time we were young, we didn't really know what was going on. But the guy, it seemed like her guy friend was keeping her away from us.
Right. So she was in sort of, I would define that like an abusive relationship.
Yeah.
Where he isolated her, kept her away.
Definitely.
And so she couldn't be there for you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm sure she wanted to be.
Definitely.
Yeah, dig that.
Mom was one of the best women in the world.
Dig that. So your big sister raised you.
Yeah, she's like my second mom.
Dig that. How old was she in relation to you? How many years older is she to you?
Just 3.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow. So that took away from a lot of her, right?
Yeah, she didn't actually have the childhood that she should have had. Yeah, she had to grow up kind of fast.
Did that.
Getting us ready for school, making sure we ate at night, getting our baths and homework. And
she was going to school too then, right?
Yeah, she was going to school too.
Did that. How many brothers and sisters do you have?
Well, just on my mother's side, I got 2 sisters and 3 brothers.
Yeah.
But like in all, I got like 3 sisters and probably 13, 14 brothers.
Oh, okay then. Dig that. I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
okay
Pops
then.
Pops didn't know how to pull out.
Yeah, he all on that.
He everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere. So dig that. Do you have a relationship with all of them, or do y'all know each other though?
Yeah. I'm closer to the ones on my mom's side than on my dad's side because everyone with my own dealing with it. dealing with my mom's side, we all kind of was like, we all came up together. It wasn't a lot of time that I was with the siblings on my father's side. And then me and my father, we didn't actually always have a, out-of-out relationship.
So y'all didn't, he wasn't in the household?
No, he wasn't. He was, but then when I was like, I want to say like 7 or 8, it's like he dipped out.
He dipped out.
Yeah.
So after that, you really just didn't have nothing?
I mean, I can't necessarily say that because my mama boyfriend, he kind of stepped up to the plate, but then again, we didn't like him because he's not our dad.
Right, yeah.
We had to actually grow to like him. And still like now, like I'm probably like the only one of my siblings who really just come to like accept the fact like my mama love him. If she love it, I like it.
Yeah, it is.
So
yeah,
whatever makes her happy makes me even happier.
I got you. Dig that. So let's this is your first time in, right? Mm-hmm. So you came through the county jail. You never been to juvenile?
No, I never been to juvenile. I mean, I went, but I didn't stay. They just kind of like got my information and my mom came.
She picked you up.
Yeah.
Yeah, dig that. Did you? What were you like in school?
I was actually smart.
Why are you laughing about that?
Because it's crazy. I was an honor roll student until like I got up into like 8th grade. It's really when like a lot of things just changed for me.
Right.
So when I got into like my first real fight, that's when I was introduced. Well, actually, I actually got into like a little clique we had in Memphis.
Right.
And that just opened my eyes more to a whole lot of like street stuff.
Yeah. So you were part of a little clique in Memphis and you got into your first fight. What was that first fight like? What did it teach you? What did you get from that?
I can fight.
It taught you that you knew how to fight.
Yeah, because like I said, well, I didn't say, but I'm gonna mention that now. I was a lover. I didn't fight a lot. I really didn't like conflict.
Yeah.
I was quiet. I played video games all the time.
Right.
I was soft. You could yell at me and I'd cry. Like it didn't take much to make me to make my sensitive side show.
Well, look, I'm gonna jump in real quick. I'm gonna keep letting you talk, but that's really not soft. But I understand why you say that. But go ahead.
Yeah. Well, that's really what it was. I mean.
Well, okay, then since you brought it back. Okay, why is that soft? Why is that soft that a person would be somebody that
it was kind of looked upon as soft because
in the
of
neighborhood?
My environment, yeah.
Okay, then go ahead.
And then all my siblings, they were tougher than me at the time.
Okay.
Like I said, I wasn't a fighter. That just wasn't who I was.
Right.
I like playing video games and going to the park.
Chilling.
I like chilling.
Yeah, you chilling.
But then, as I got older, I realized that I couldn't be that way.
Because of my
environment. And I had my big brother, he used to fight me all the time just to get me to fight back because I wouldn't fight back.
Yeah.
I'd cry and stuff like that. And then
he thought he was helping you, really, right?
He was. He actually was. I appreciate what he did because he was. Because if I didn't know now what I know,
I get you.
Then I'd probably be, probably missed off somewhere. Somebody taking advantage of me or something.
Yeah.
Yep. My uncle, like I said, my brother taught me how to fight. My brother taught me how to throw a punch. My uncle taught me how to take a punch.
Right.
And my other uncle taught me how to defend myself from punches and stuff like that. So it just really took a lot though.
Yeah, I feel you. They were just trying to teach you how to handle yourself because of the environment that you were in.
I needed to know that.
You needed to know that to survive that environment, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's typical of a lot of guys that end up in here. People dismiss the environment that a lot of us grew up in and say, well, you still shouldn't have done what you done. You feel what I'm saying? But in that environment, just like in prison, we're trying to do whatever we need to do to survive it.
And if nobody actually have been in the situation that we've been in, they would never understand the choices that we made.
Right.
How can you understand that choice if you've never been in the shoes?
That's right. That's right. Absolutely.
You probably handle yourself a different way than I would.
Absolutely. So, okay, let me ask you this, man. Because we had talked before we decided to do this, and you say you're affiliated, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it's not necessary that you tell everybody what it is that you're affiliated with unless you feel comfortable with that, right? But
shit, it is what it is.
Okay, what are you then?
I'm Grape Street Crib.
There it is. Okay, so how old were you when you became a member, but how old were you when you heard about it and learned about it, and what did you learn about it?
I was
What did
15
you know?
when I was actually introduced to it.
Yeah.
And from my understanding, with my big brother, he crippin'.
Right.
And from what I seen, they were his family because my family ain't always been family, and still at times my family is not family. And they it's like the bond that the family bond that that we all the bond that we all crave and desire and need. He got that from the homeboys. And I guess they just showed him a type of love, and being that my big brother and I are close, I was like around like 24/7.
So you were looking up to him.
I definitely did. I always do.
Right.
Still do to this day.
Right.
And the love that he got, I wanted that same love because
Right.
I wasn't getting it either.
Right.
So why not get it from the same people he getting from?
Right. Right. Did this. So how old were you when you got put on?
I was 18.
18 years old. And what went behind that decision? I mean, did you just wake up after you said you got introduced at 15? Did you just wake up one day and say, this is the day?
No, it kind of happened unplanned.
Unplanned? If you don't mind, describe that to my listeners.
We was all in a moment, and a put down was finna go on, and
right, with somebody else.
Yeah, and
right.
It was that's my opportunity to be like, shit, excuse my language, but I might well go and see the hood too.
Right.
I mean, why wait? I done waited this long. I done waited 3 years.
You've been running around with them, kicking with them, everything except for
I know everything.
You know it all, right? Except for the go on and make it official, stamp it.
Might as well.
Yeah, dig that. What was that like for you?
At first, it was fun. Doing the stuff that we do. It was fun, but
now back up just a quick second. We'll get into that, but like, what was the put down for? Like, what was that like for you? Was it scary? Did it hurt?
I was kind of nervous, but then again, I like after my folks taught me how to fight. It's like I grew a passion for fighting.
Yeah,
and I liked it. So it was like,
come on with it.
Come on with it.
Yeah,
it's adrenaline rushing.
Yeah,
and sometimes it's.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. But my listeners, I want them to understand. That's why I asked you. You know what I'm saying, to describe this. So tell me, what's the life like when, as a young man, 18 years old, just getting into the life? What was it like? What did you do?
You're gonna have to do a lot of stuff that you're not willing to, that you wouldn't normally do.
So did you know that before you joined?
Yeah, I knew that.
You knew that?
I definitely did.
Yeah. So you didn't go into it blind. You knew that it was going to be a situation.
I knew what was going to come behind it. I knew what was going on.
Yeah. And how did that make you feel?
I mean, it made me stronger.
But I'm thinking it had to be some part of you that, I don't like to use the term soft. That's you. You know what I'm saying? You use those terms. I don't use those terms. You know what I mean? But as somebody that had a different mannerism, the way they carried themselves right before you learn how to fight. No part of that was still in you, willing, you know what I'm saying, that crept out every now and then where you just wanted to chill and you just really didn't want to be involved in all that.
No, because it's like I put up this wall, and I didn't say this. I didn't tell y'all this. I used to be bullied a lot, coming up from elementary on up to when I got in there fighting in the 8th grade. I was bullied a whole lot, and being that my folks taught me how to fight and stuff, it's like I put up this wall to where I feel like I'm not finna let you, bully me. I'm not finna let you take advantage of me. I'm gonna defend myself at all times now.
Right.
And it's like I got so carried away with it, I lost touch with that sensitive side of it.
Do you think in some ways you became the bully?
Yeah.
Or was it always about defending yourself? Which one was it?
Well,
or a combination of?
It was both.
It was both?
Yeah, like I was a bully to the bullies.
I got
Like
you.
if I was to see somebody bullying somebody, I'm gonna step up and bully the bully.
You gonna get on him.
Yeah, because it's either you gonna beat me up, I'm gonna beat you up, or it's gonna be a draw.
One way or another, you're gonna let him know what it feels
You're gonna
like.
know what it feel like. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's not cool to bully. It's not cool to be a bully.
Right. Right. I feel that too.
And I actually like I done actually had like I done sat and thought a lot, and I thought about taking my life a few times with knives, guns, all that type of stuff.
Why?
And
What put you in that mind state?
being bullied,
And
not even just by people on the outside. It's people I grew up with. It's sometimes it was family members, you know, and don't nothing hurt you more than the ones that are closer to you. Like that's a different type of hurt.
Yes. So the people that were bullying you were family members.
Friends, and just random. Sometimes it just be a random person.
You just got tired of
like, oh, I'm gonna bully him. He look like he gonna. You hear me? He's soft, or he this, or he that. So
yeah.
And then some people just get they get a rush out of it.
Yeah, when they watch somebody that's inferior, no doubt.
They like that.
So would you say that played a role in you wanting to become a gang member?
Not really. I mean, like I said, it was really all for the love.
For the love.
Yeah, it was all for the love.
So when you were being bullied by family members, did you felt like you were not being loved, right?
Yeah.
But you felt like looking up to your big brother that he was getting love from the homeboys. Was he ever bullied?
Nope.
You saw that.
Crazy because, well, my big brother type, he gonna stand firm for what he believe in.
Right.
And he don't care what size you is, what you done did, who you are. He gonna defend himself. He gonna defend what he love. He gonna defend what he believe in.
Right.
And that taught me. Well, what I got from that was if he can do it, I can do it.
Right.
Why not do it?
Right. But you say that it was more for the love.
It was more for the love.
Not so much as like, if I do this, they ain't gonna bully me no more. You just saw.
I got that too a little bit later on down the line. I started to feel like that because a lot of people really stopped stopped bullying me because of what my oldest brother had done or what my uncle had done.
Right.
I don't want you not to mess with me because of what they'll do to you.
Right.
I want you to know that I'm capable of it too.
I do it myself. Right.
This not that. Don't play with me.
Yeah.
I'm not the same as I used to be when I was younger.
Right.
So you're not finna do what you used to do to me no more.
Yeah. So that inside part of you that was tired of the bullying, that had learned how to fight, it manifested itself in that gang member.
And it made me something that I really regret being.
That's what I was getting to. I was gonna ask you, because you can remember that person that you were.
Definitely.
And do you try to tap into that person sometime and lean back and chill? Because I noticed like sometimes I'll see you around here, you just in straight chill mode. And it's like you're a totally different person, right? And then there's other times I see you, it's like you just switch. It's like a switch, you know what I mean? You somebody else, right?
Yeah.
Now, I didn't know what you telling me today. I ain't have no conversation with you to even know this, right?
Yeah.
But I noticed that you, 1 minute you just straight on chill mode, and then another, it's like you different. Yeah. You know what I mean? So you say that on some level that you regret.
Yeah, because
tell me what you regret.
I regret, for starters, off top, I regret joining the gang.
Okay.
Because it's a lot of, like I said, it's a lot of stuff you do you don't want to do.
Even though you knew it, even though you looked up to your big brother, you feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You've come to conclude that you regret that in some ways.
Yeah, because I knew later on down the line I was gonna want to start a family. And at the time I didn't know if I was gonna have a kid or not, or who I was gonna have it with, but I got a son now. Mm-hmm. And I look at
how old is he?
He's only 2.
Baby.
Yeah, he'll be 3 in August.
That's what's up.
But I look at life like I don't want my son to have to deal with that. I don't want my son to have to know about that.
Right.
I mean, he gonna know about it, but I don't want him to be excited for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want him to feel like, ooh, my daddy did this, so it's cool for me to do it. No, it's not.
Yeah.
Daddy made a lot of mistakes.
Right. So how are you going to teach him that? I mean, are you going to walk away from the life? Because I walked away from the life. I was the folks for over 20 plus years. You feel me?
I'm definitely going to leave it alone.
Right. Okay. And what happens if he one day comes to you, however he finds out, what are you going to tell him? What would you tell your son if he came to you and asked you about joining the gang? Or if you heard that he was trying to join the gang, what would you say to him?
I'm going to let him know that that's not the thing to do. Because, I mean,
Why? What are you going to say?
He's going to know that I was affiliated, that I am affiliated. I'm just retired. He's going to know that.
Right.
I'm not gonna leave him blind to
Don't
a lot
lie
of
to
things.
him. Right. That's right.
It's just I'm gonna let him know. Daddy did this. Daddy did that. He know I know the outcome of what's gonna go on, and that's not the life you want to live. I mean, his mama don't even like it.
Right.
His mama didn't like when I got put on the hood.
Right.
So it wouldn't be manly. I wouldn't be a good father if I let my son make that decision. The same decision that I made.
Because how would you describe the gang lifestyle? Describe it for me.
Man, it's tiring.
Tiring?
It's tiring. I mean, you could get called. The big homie would call you late at night. It'd probably be 2, 3 o'clock in the morning.
And you gotta go.
When it's time to go, it's time to go.
Right.
And
you don't get to decide what you go on, right?
Because you're a little homie. You're a foot soldier.
You gotta go.
You're a tiny little. You
right.
gotta do what cuz say.
Right.
And if you don't do what cuz say, cuz not gonna wreck you.
Yeah, yeah. Explain to my listeners, those that don't know, right? Explain what wrecking is.
Wrecking is when it's like disobeying a command.
Right.
We're gonna put you in that blender.
It's the punishment that you get.
The punishment, you're definitely gonna get that. That's the consequence behind not following rules.
Right.
Even though we're outlaws, we still have guidelines and stuff we have to follow.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, if you don't do what the OG say, what the big homie say, that's basically saying, fuck you, cuz, wreck me.
Right. Come on with
it. Wreck is when you get put in the circle, and you gonna fight, and it's gonna be 3 niggas regardless. But excuse my language, y'all, but it's gonna be 3 guys, and if Cub feel like it's necessary to put more in there, he gonna put more in there.
Yeah, he got to make a point. He got to put you down
because you got to show all the other little homies that feel like they can disobey what Cub said. Like, you don't do that. You gonna do what cuz say. See, he top dog, he big dog. Or if he's saying it for a reason, but it might not always be a good reason behind it.
Right. But you don't get to question that.
I mean, you can question it, but you still gonna have to do what's needed to be done at the time.
Bet that. Okay. Look here, man. I'm gonna wrap this up, but I wanna ask you, and I appreciate you doing this too, for real.
Definitely.
But I wanna ask you to leave my listeners with something. What would you say to a parent or a child that is thinking about joining the gang? I know you said what you would say to your son, right? When the day comes, if he asks, right? But what would you say to a parent or a child today about the lifestyle, the gang lifestyle, and the criminal lifestyle? What would you say to them to get them to go the opposite way?
No matter how much fun it might seem like it is, no matter how easy it might seem like it is, it's not worth it. Because you got people that love you, and even if they don't show it, they love you. And a lot of people look up to you. You might not know it, they're not gonna verbally say it, but if you pay attention to actions, you will see that it's always somebody looking up to you. Be a good leader. Don't be a follower, because I was a follower. And I regret it.
Dig that. I'm gonna leave it right there. I appreciate you, bro.
Definitely, no problem.
This has been another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Bacon. I say peace, y'all.